Have you ever wondered how a country so small that you can drive across it in less than an hour could hold the fate of entire nations in its hands? Singapore, often called just a tiny dot on the world map, has quietly become a giant in influence. In a world dominated by massive economies and superpowers, Singapore shows us that true strength doesn't come from size but from strategy, vision, and connections. In 2025, Singapore is not just surviving, it's thriving as a hub where East meets West, where finance meets innovation, and where nations look for stability in uncertain times. From neighboring countries that rely on its ports and financial systems, to faraway powers that depend on its networks and neutrality, Singapore plays a role far bigger than most people realize. Today, we're uncovering the hidden truth behind 10 countries that depend on Singapore more than you might think. These connections reveal how deeply this island nation has woven itself into the world's economy and politics. By the end of this video, you'll see why Singapore's story is one of the most surprising tales of global power. Number 10. Vietnam. Vietnam's rise as a manufacturing powerhouse is deeply supported by Singapore's presence. Many Singaporean companies invest directly in Vietnam, building industrial parks, infrastructure, and financial links. But the dependence goes deeper. Vietnam uses Singapore's global reputation to attract international investors, as partnerships with Singaporean firms inspire trust worldwide. This collaboration allows Vietnam to expand confidently, knowing that Singapore serves as both a mentor and a bridge to global success. Without Singapore, Vietnam's rise would face more obstacles in credibility and connectivity. Number 9. United Kingdom. Post-Brexit, Britain has been searching for new allies and markets, and Singapore has become one of its most important partners. For the UK, Singapore acts as a trusted base in Asia, where trade deals, investments, and financial services find fertile ground. London banks, tech firms, and energy companies all see Singapore as essential for staying competitive in the Pacific region. In return, Britain gains a foothold in a rapidly growing market, keeping its global ambitions alive. Singapore may be small in size, but for the UK, it represents a giant opportunity. Number 8. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia's transformation under its vision for modernization requires reliable partners, and Singapore plays an underrated role in this journey. As the kingdom seeks to diversify its economy beyond oil, it turns to Singapore for expertise in technology, finance, and smart city development. Investments between the two flow steadily, with Singapore serving as a model of efficiency and innovation that Saudi Arabia aspires to emulate. While oil may be Saudi Arabia's strength, Singapore's systems and strategies provide the roadmap for long-term sustainability. This makes the relationship far more crucial than most observers realize. Number 7. Australia. Australia may be rich in natural resources, but Singapore ensures those resources flow smoothly to global markets. Its ports act as gateways for Australian goods, while its financial institutions provide the backing needed for investments. Education and tourism also link the two nations, with Singapore acting as a hub where Australians connect to Asia and beyond. For Canberra, Singapore is more than a trading partner, it is a strategic anchor in a region where alliances and influence are constantly shifting. Without Singapore, Australia's outreach to Asia would be far less effective. Number 6. Japan. Japan's technological strength and Singapore's strategic position form a partnership of mutual reliance. Japanese corporations often base their Asian headquarters in Singapore, knowing that the city-state offers stability, infrastructure, and global connectivity. Whether it is finance, logistics, or advanced research, Singapore supports Japan's long-term strategies across the region. Additionally, Singapore acts as a cultural and diplomatic connector, helping Japan build trust with its Southeast Asian neighbors. This quiet but steady dependence allows Japan to project influence while relying on Singapore to manage the complexities of regional trade and diplomacy. Number 5. India. India's historic ties with Singapore have blossomed into deep modern partnerships. For Indian businesses, Singapore is a magnet for investment, talent, and connectivity. Students and professionals from India find opportunities in Singapore that link them to global networks, while Indian companies leverage Singapore's reputation to expand into Southeast Asia. On the flip side, Singapore's financial trust attracts Indian capital, making it a preferred hub for cross-border deals. For India, Singapore is not just a partner but a bridge to the wider world, amplifying its economic and cultural reach far beyond South Asia. Number 4. United States. The United States may be a superpower, but its interests in Asia rely heavily on Singapore. America depends on Singapore's ports for naval access, its markets for investments, and its innovation sector for partnerships. American companies see Singapore as the ultimate base for Southeast Asia, where they can operate in a stable, business-friendly environment. From pharmaceuticals to technology, U.S. corporations anchor themselves in Singapore to reach billions of customers across Asia. Without Singapore, America's influence in the region would be significantly weakened, proving that even giants need small yet strategic allies. Number 3. China. China's economy touches every part of the world, yet even Beijing relies on Singapore in subtle but powerful ways. Singapore is one of the few places where East meets West smoothly, making it the perfect environment for Chinese companies to expand globally. It provides a secure, English-speaking base where Chinese businesses can test international waters, attract Western partners, and safeguard their financial interests. Beyond commerce, Singapore offers a political neutrality that China finds valuable when tensions rise with other powers. In essence, Singapore serves as both a safe space and a stepping stone for China's ambitions in global trade and finance. Number 2. Indonesia. Indonesia is vast in land and population, but when it comes to global trade, Singapore often acts as its front-facing partner. Many Indonesian exports pass through Singapore before reaching international markets, as global investors trust Singapore's transparent systems, advanced ports, and reliable banking. Indonesian companies seek Singapore as a launchpad for credibility, making the island nation a vital intermediary for growth. From energy flows to digital investments, Singapore bridges Indonesia with the world, making the connection between these neighbors indispensable for Indonesia's rise as a regional power. Number 1. Malaysia. Malaysia and Singapore share more than a border, they share lifelines. While Malaysia provides natural resources, Singapore provides financial power, technology, and a global stage for Malaysian businesses. Every container that moves through Singapore's world-class port often carries goods tied to Malaysia's economy. Professionals and students also cross borders daily, making Singapore a hub of opportunity for Malaysians. Without Singapore's banking sector, advanced logistics, and international networks, Malaysia's trade and investment strategies would struggle to keep up with global demand. The two nations may have political differences, but their economic fates are deeply interwoven, with Singapore often serving as the gateway to Malaysia's growth. And there you have it, 10 countries whose futures are closely tied to Singapore's strength, strategy, and stability. What may look like just a small nation on the map is, in reality, one of the most influential connectors of our modern world. Singapore proves that true power is not measured in landmass or population but in the ability to create trust, manage flows of trade, and bring people together across borders. From Malaysia and Indonesia, which rely on Singapore as a gateway, to giants like China, the United States, and India, which lean on its financial and strategic systems, this city-state continues to surprise the world with its impact. Even faraway countries such as the United Kingdom, Saudi Arabia, and Australia know that Singapore is not just an ally but a lifeline. So the next time you hear about global powers and rising economies, remember the quiet but undeniable force of Singapore. If this video opened your eyes to just how connected our world truly is, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Together, we'll keep exploring the untold stories that shape the future of nations.